Actually, not really. I'm just very excited because it has been a long time since we've had a proper JW broadcasting episode, and I thought we would celebrate that by having a proper Wally's terrible intros. Yes, I've been trying to be better about my intros, but I thought, maybe I'll just get a little bit goofy today. So anyway, with all that being said, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you know what? For the culture, and if you know this bit, you've been around the channel for a long time, let's do this. That actually has been like a year.
In this dramatization, note the adjustments a sister makes to work toward her goal.
That was terrible. I could have answered that better.
Now, I don't want to be the I told you so goblin here, but I said that I think the Jade and Nita series was coming to a close, and that's why I wanted to do a tribute to it during the 12 days of JW Thoughts Christmas. We reviewed all of the Jade and Nita videos, and I think this maybe officially marks the end of the Jade and Nita series, because we're having some new people come into the Jehovah's Witness struggle world. I don't know what you really want to call it, but anyway, I haven't watched this yet, so let's see what these two new hooligans get themselves into.
That was terrible. I could have answered that better.
No, you did great. Really.
I've always been hard on myself. Really strengthen our faith. Then if we... No, that's all. Sometimes it made me so anxious that even the normal stuff I do felt impossible.
Public speaking is not something that comes naturally to everyone. There's some people that, you see them at a dinner party or something, and they can hold forth and tell a great story and have the whole room captivated and laughing. And yet you put them on a stage in front of people and it kind of seize up, because not everyone was built for public speaking, giving comments. It's just not realistic to think that everyone can and should give comments like this during the meetings. And I can think of plenty of examples of people that I knew that were, I hate to use Jehovah's Witness terms here, I'll have to put $5 in my swear jar, but spiritual people that had privileges, that didn't like commenting, that didn't give talks. Even the coordinator of the body of elders, the Kobe, in one of the congregations that I was in, he didn't give public talks. He didn't really give comments. He didn't go and out to other congregations and give talks.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It wasn't his thing. It wasn't for him. So that is fine. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And so the fact that they are sort of showing her not being able to give this comment, and then obviously they're relating this to other issues that she might be having with mental health or what have you. I don't know how this thing progresses, but yeah, I mean, we've all been the victim of the magnetic bed syndrome, and yep, nope, sorry, can't do it today. Not going to happen. Brain, body, not working in the real world. So that's all fine and understandable. But this concept of it's like a duty or an obligation to hold forth publicly is pretty ridiculous, because not everyone is built that way.
So what do you think brings this on?
I don't know, maybe lately it's because I'm thinking about SKE. If I can reach that goal, it'll be fine.
I see. How about we read a scripture that might help?
Okay. They didn't discourage me from SKE, but they suggested I try to manage the anxiety first. I was on it. If I focused on my goal, and took care of myself, I'd get there. Maybe it was a little too much focus.
Jadenita might be gone, but the nonsense continues nonetheless. This is one of those examples that I always call Watchtower fixing a problem that they create. So she is feeling this anxiety, it's affecting her day-to-day life, and the reason she's feeling this is because she is nervous about not doing enough spiritually, wanting to go to the Kingdom School for Evangelizers or whatever it's called. Okay, if she was just living her normal life and not thinking about that, wouldn't be an issue, therefore anxiety is gone. So Watchtower has created a problem that they're trying to really fix. Now, I mean, first off, it's hilarious that she goes on a run and she puts on a Watchtower article because, boy howdy, I gotta be honest. I mean, when I used to run a lot. I mean, I would run like 10 miles a couple times a week when I was a Jehovah's Witness. And boy, oh boy, every single one of those runs, I just was blasting those kingdom melodies and really I was hitting the gritty for the Watchtower. Hoo-wee! But all jokes aside, what she's doing here, I'm not quite sure I disagree with, because working hard towards like achieving something gives you a very deep satisfaction, and it helps, bolster your self-worth. It helps you realize that you can set a goal and accomplish it. So when Watchtower is like showing her like, oh, I'm out there jogging but going a million miles a minute, and then she's still feeling the same anxiety and up till 3 a.m., it almost demonstrates what's wrong with being a Jehovah's Witness, because it's a hamster wheel and you're always running on it. It's not like, okay, I have this goal, I'm going to achieve it, boom. Okay, I did it. It's, hey, I'm going to set this goal and then the goalpost will just be moved a little bit farther. Well, I mean, you're only in SKE. Like, why aren't you in Gilead? Oh, you're only in Gilead? Well, why aren't you in the circuit work? You're only in the circuit work? Well, why aren't you on the branch committee? You're only on the branch committee? Well, why aren't you a governing body member? And it goes on and on and on and on, and it literally consumes people's entire lives. I've watched this happen, like where people's entire life is consumed with reaching new goals for Watchtower, and it's never enough. It's just a constant sadness that looms over you. You reach a goal, you feel like the anxiety is going to be over, like she says, if I could just get to SKE. And then you're still up at 3 a.m. because the problem isn't with you. The problem is with the goals you're setting. You aren't the problem. You aren't the cause of the anxiety. Watchtower is. And serving them more isn't going to fix it. It's really sad kind of watching this and breaking it down in that way, you know?
Thank you, brothers.
So?
They're right. SK would be a lot for me right now.
I'm sorry. But you'll get there.
I tried everything to fix this. What's wrong with me?
Nothing. Some things just take time. Hey, I have Lily study tomorrow morning. I could use your help.
I want to get baptized. But I don't know. You all do so much. I don't think I could ever really be.
Shout outs to Watchtower cinematography department because I really, really enjoyed the long pause. It was very comedic. I can imagine Jehovah's Witnesses even laughing at this. I could never be. And then the quick pan to them sitting on the couch looking like a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses, to be honest. But yeah, again, her friend is like, hey, it's not your fault, which, is the right thing, but it's so frustrating because we've all been in this situation and we've lived this life where it's like, if you could just shake someone and say, no, it's not your fault and it's not anything you're doing, and that's what they're always missing, the and. This goal that you're pursuing is wrong. It's harmful. It's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. And that's why you're feeling the anxiety. If the goal made sense, if the Watchtower Doctrine made sense, if the whole Armageddon Paradise narrative, 1914, 607, the whole kit and caboodle, if it all perfectly wrapped up into a beautiful little package, you could spank it on the bottom and send it to your grandmother, it would not cause anxiety. But because it doesn't make sense, and on some level, and this is something I firmly believe, on some level, every single Jehovah's Witness knows that this is not based in reality, that it's not true, that it's not provable. Because when you ask them to prove it, and this is a 100% of the time I've ever asked any Jehovah's Witness ever, can you prove it? And they will admit at some point that they can't. Every witness I've ever talked to will admit at some point that they can't prove it's true. And that they're just taking it on faith. Or that it's just a hope of theirs. And because of that, it obviously, when you're striving towards something that's like, well, I want to go to Never Ever Land. Well, of course you're going to feel a lot of anxiety if you're wrapping your whole entire self-worth and your goals and your achievements around attaining Never Ever Land. Of course you're going to feel that anxiety because you're never going to get there. Anyway, I did find this to be pretty funny, but boy, oh boy, Watchtower cinematography department, spot on with this one. I could never be
I don't think I could ever really be.
I think I understand. Can I show you something? Micah 6:8. What do you read that?
He has told you, O man, what is good. And what is Jehovah requiring of you? Only to exercise justice, to cherish loyalty, and to walk in modesty with your God.
That last part, walk in modesty, that's about knowing our limitations. So, is Jehovah happy with what you can do? Or does he want what you can't do?
He only expects what I can do.
Then why should we expect more? Turns out, I gave Lily the same advice the brothers gave me. It was my turn to apply it.
I am going to beat this drum until this drum kicks me in the ass, but I genuinely believe we are seeing signs that Watchtower wants to lighten some of their policies. They are trying to not be as stringent and hardcore as they were. Hey, it's okay. Jehovah only wants what you can do, so don't expect more of yourself. And that's going to lead to, it's okay to just come to the meetings on Zoom. It's okay to only get 5-10 hours a month in the field service. As long as you're doing what you can do, that is a-okay. Maybe I'm the crazy one, and I'm gonna have to eat a bunch of crow on this bad boy, and this will be a horrible take, but I'm sticking with it, baby. I am not backing down. I genuinely think I know I've been doing this for like a year now, but I genuinely think that Watchtower is going to try and move in a direction where they soften some of their policies. I know most people are like, no, it's a cult and they're going to get more hardcore and more hardcore and more hardcore. I'm the one on the outside here, but I think they're going to try and soften as much as they can because it's going to make them more viable to just be around in the future and not just dwindle to some paltry amount of people and hardcore witnesses that just live in, the United States and there's only a couple 100,000 of them. If they want to stay relevant in the modern world, they're going to need to change some of these more hardcore policies. And in my mind, watching this, it's kind of a sign like, hey, it's okay. Just give God what you can do, and he'll be happy with that. Okay.
I had to be honest with myself. My limitation was my own high expectations. I've been doing it so long that there was no quick fix. It didn't mean giving up on my goals, though. I just tried to focus more on what I could do in the present. Like having more empathy for people who feel like I do. And showing them how much Jehovah values them. We could tell a Bible student how we overcame a challenge. Truth is, I can actually do a lot for Jehovah. With reasonable expectations.
Now, what are those reasonable expectations? Well, it's seeming like they're suggesting that people are going to be able to decide for themselves what is a reasonable expectation about what they can do for Jehovah, which leads the door open to people being a little bit more relaxed, not being pressured so much. Instead of someone, some elders busting down the door of some guy has 4 kids and he's working 50 hours a week and saying, why aren't you able to put in 15 hours a month in field service? You could be a ministerial servant if you did that. You need to do more. You need to try harder. Instead of doing that, what if they're like, hey, you're doing the best you can with your 4, 5, 6 hours of field service per month. We understand your circumstances, and we're going to give you those privileges regardless. That would be a monumental shift in Watchtower's overall structure. So, hey, maybe Wally was onto something. Maybe I wasn't the crazy one after all. But time will tell. Now, there's a lot more to this JW broadcasting, so I'll probably just be uploading over the next couple days and just do it in segments. But we'll cut it off here and just try and take it basically in segments. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. If you're still around, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow. But I know what you guys are really here for. Anyone that's still watching the video up until this point, they only want to see one thing. And I understand what you guys want. So here we go. For the people. Hey, Zizi. Hey, Zizi. Hi. How are you, buddy? Say hi to YouTube.